Hello guys and welcome to Technological, where you grow with knowledge. I hope you have already started learning Python using my previous tutorials. If not, please subscribe to the channel and start your Python journey. So far, we have completed tutorials on strings in Python and have seen a couple of examples in the last tutorial to implement our learning. Today, we will see how to work with other data types in Python. So let's talk about the numeric data types first. For numerical data, we have two different data types, one for integers and one for floating numbers. Integers, as we already know, are whole numbers, while floating numbers are numbers which have some digits after the decimal point. So integers are represented as int and floating numbers are represented as float in Python. So for creating a variable with numerical value, we need to choose a name for the variable and assign the numeric value. This numeric value can be either an integer or a floating number. So let's create a variable called days in a week and assign the value 7. Days in a week equals 7. 7 here is an integer, a whole number. Let's execute the cell to complete the assignment and then display the value of variable using print function. So I'll type print and in parentheses I will provide the variable days in a week. Execute the cell by pressing shift plus enter. Similarly, now let's create a variable called pi. And let's assign the value 3.14 to the variable. Execute the cell to assign the value. And then let's print the value of pi using the print function. So this is how we use numeric data types in Python. If you want to check the data type of a variable, then we can use type function to determine the data type of a variable. Suppose if I want to check the data type of pi variable, then I will call type function with pi variable as an argument. So I will use type function and in parentheses I will provide pi as an argument. Hit shift and enter. And the output is float. So the data type for the pi variable is float. That means pi contains or pi stores a value which is floating number, which is a floating number. In the similar manner, we can check the data type for the integer variable. So I can use type function again and provide days in a week as argument. And the data type for this variable is int, that is for integers. One more type of numerical data that we can store in Python or use in Python is complex numbers. Complex numbers have a real part as well as an imaginary part. So let's create a complex number by choosing a variable called comp and assign it complex number. So let's say my real part is 2 and my imaginary part is -5. So the complex number will be 2 minus 5j. Execute the cell to complete the assignment. If I try to print this variable, you will see the same number as output. If we use type function to check the data type of this variable, the function returns complex. So let me use type function here and provide comp as argument. Execute the cell and the output is complex. So the variable comp contains a complex number. We can do a lot of mathematics for these complex numbers, but that is out of scope for this tutorial. But I can show you how to print the real part and imaginary part of the complex number using the attributes. So for displaying the real part of the complex number, you need to write complex number variable, that is comp and dot real. This will print the real part of the complex number. Similarly, if you want to print the imaginary part of the complex number, then you need to write the variable name dot image and execute the cell. This prints the imaginary part of the complex number. So these are the numerical data types available in Python that you can make use of. Remember, in Python, when we create a variable, we do not define the data type of the variable. But when some value is assigned to the variable, the data type of the variable is determined automatically as per the type of data assigned. Just like numerical data types, we have Boolean data types in Python, which have either true or false as value. So we can create a variable, say flag, and assign it a value true. Flag is my variable and I'm going to assign the value true to this. So in Python, make sure when you use true or false as Boolean value, then the T will be in caps for true and F will be in caps for false. So here I have assigned true as a value to flag variable. Let's execute the cell to assign the value. Now let's display the value by using the print function. So I will use print and will pass flag as an argument. This returns true as I had assigned it earlier. Similarly, I can assign false as a value to a variable and use that in my program. Most of the Boolean variables or Boolean values are used when we want to work with conditional statements, where we need to decide if I need to do something based on true or I need to do something based on false. Now let's talk about string data type in Python. So any character within single quotes or double quotes is referred to as a string. Strings are basically the data type for representing the characters as it is. So if I want to use name of a person in my code, the name will be a string. If I want to write a greeting message, that message will be a string. A string can be one character long or it can be multi-characters long. We must make sure that the string is always enclosed within either single quotes or double quotes. I have already completed a series of tutorials on strings data types where I have worked on strings in a very detailed manner. Kindly go through those tutorials to get more insights into string data type in Python. The links to tutorials are given in the description. In this tutorial, let's create a simple string variable message and assign a value hello, good morning. So I will create a variable called message and assign a value hello, good morning. Execute the cell to complete the assignment and use print function to display the value of this variable. So this is what I had assigned as a string to the variable. So guys, these are some of the most important data types in Python that you should be aware of. In next tutorial, I would be covering how to convert one data type into another, and then we'll show you an example to help you understand the concepts easily. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel to receive updates on latest tutorials. Please like, comment and share to enable other learners. See you soon with next tutorial. Thank you.